Here's the tax code that I favor. Flat tax, 12% tax across the board, eliminate the cronyist deductions. We don't need an IRS. That's how you grow this economy. So from one CEO to another, I think you'll appreciate how that delivers economic growth in this country. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that question. Take a couple more before we wrap. Sir.
You said you're not going to give any more money to Ukraine. Are you going to remove the sanctions that punish the Russians and that have failed at stopping the war? Are you going to remove the sanctions and get us out of that fight completely?
Yeah, so here's what I believe is we need a diplomatic resolution to that war that advances U.S. interests. So that's going to be a negotiation. I'm going to sit down with Vladimir Putin, and we're going to talk openly. Do I trust Putin? No, I don't. Does he trust me as the next president? No, he doesn't. But we can trust each other to follow our self-interest. And so here's what I would lay out there, okay? We will end the war in Ukraine. We will make a hard commitment that NATO will not admit Ukraine to NATO and a reasonable end to the war. But in return, we require that Russia exit its military alliance with China. That's very valuable to us. It's the single greatest threat we face is that Russia and China are in a military agreement with one another, and together they outmatch us militarily right now. That's the sad truth. So if in that context, we need to use reopening some economic relations with Russia to make that possible, because Russia is now dependent on China, largely because we made them dependent on China. We pushed them into China's hands. Yes, I am open to reversing that as part of that deal. Reopening economic relations with Russia, reorder this otherwise path to World War III that we're on. And the single greatest way that I'm actually going to avoid World War III as your next president is to disband that Russia-China military alliance. Do that, and you single-handedly reduce the risk of World War III. The rest of my foreign policy is clear. Avoid World War III, declare economic independence from communist China, and then use our own military and national defense spending to actually defend our own homeland against cyber attacks.
Trump kept us out of wars. Why wouldn't you be his vice president? Trump kept us out of wars.
You had your turn. I just want to be respectful of everyone.
You didn't answer the question. You're dancing around a bunch of questions.
I told you I want to be the president. You can ask Trump why he would want to be my vice
but if
president.
our country is fucked, if we're screwed, why wouldn't you want to?
You have my word. I will do whatever is right for this country, and I'll tell you why I'm doing what's right for this country right now. Is they want to narrow this down to a two-horse race between Donald Trump and a puppet who they can control.
You always say that.
That's because it's the truth of what's happening.
So the government might kill Trump, but they won't kill you because you're the most anti-establishment guy. But you're
so you had your chance, and I know the game.
I just want an answer.
I know the game. Your video, we got it. We get the point, and you made your point. So your bosses are going to give you a nice little check mark for today.
I don't make it. I'm broke.
But at the end of the day, we're here for this country, and I want to actually talk to the people who came here earnestly to ask questions without interrupting. So thank you very much. We're going to go to the next question. Right there, sir. You have it before. Yeah.
Almost perfect.